sometimes, because the way this thing does live streams, I notice that sometimes when I say good morning, the whole thing's cut off. Like, I don't know what's going on with that, but, it's YouTube streaming, so, yeah, it is raining cats and dogs out here this morning. Oh, man, it's a couple parts of the road were nearly flooded out. Sorry, I had to turn those darn wipers off because they're making a racket. Monday morning, the beginning of a 6-day week, where I'm at. Wait a minute, they didn't turn off. Hang on, turn off. Don't you hate it when the windshield wipers don't want to turn off? Good morning, folks who are out there. Now, well, as usual, speculation's running rampant, of course, about who the next doctor is. Putin's running rampant in Ukraine, probably because he couldn't get it up the one morning or something. We don't know. It's kind of sad, too, because I've just seen pictures of people over there in Russia don't want a war. And it's getting to be pretty nasty over there. They're like, basically, it's like, a big chunk of the country just stood up this morning and went, WTF, man. Or they've been actually doing that, but, I just saw some disturbing images this morning from a broken up protest over there. And it's like, what can you say, when your leaders do dumb things, it's like, dude, this ain't the glory days of the czars, and it sure as hell ain't the dark, dank days of the Cold War. It's like, remember us? Your economy was falling apart. You couldn't even feed your own people. And now that things are starting to steer back in the right direction, I'm going to go take back all the real estate I lost. Well, you'd think by now of, in the 21st century that we'd, grown past all this silly nonsense. But doesn't seem like we ever will. Okay, now, I'm sorry, I just called a bit about an RTD announcement. There's been speculation running rampant on when that's going to happen, too. You got to remember, I'm dying laughing because RTD takes a picture in front of Bad Wolf Studios, and sure enough, later that day, production begins. Production's been going on. They've been in pre-production for a while now. You got to remember, the last regime finished back in October of last year. It's like, what do you think they've been doing? Sitting there playing Nobble Me Peg for the last few months? No, or I can't remember that. There's, tiddlywinks, whatever you want to say. Now, yeah, sorry if I've brought anybody down with the beginning there. It's just, a lot going on out here. And it's just that I had some weird things happen last week, and it's, like I said, it's kind of weighing down on me a bit. And it's just, made me feel like back in the glory days of high school, and they'd go to pick teams and you weren't on it. Or you were the last one picked. And then you're not supposed to take it personally. But there's a part of you that does. Well, season 14, you mean? It's been going on for a while. Yeah, I saw that article, where somebody said season 13 had just begun. And it's like, they finished series 13 already. I know there was some people, like I said, I don't want to make you sound like, bad or anything like that, but I just had to bring it up. We were asking whether Jodie's pregnancy was going to affect the rest of the series. And I was like, guys, she's done. That's why I'm dying laughing at all these people who are obviously misinformed, who don't bother. I'm not talking about you guys. I'm talking about the ones over on Facebook who are going, when is Jodie and Chibnall going to be fired so we can get good Doctor Who back on? And it's like, Jodie and Chibnall have already left the building. They're gone as of October 13th last year. I have watched Picard, and it is awesome. I especially loved the nice way they did that scene with Q at the end. Oh, spoilers. Oh, but oh well. Yeah, I'm hearing Lydia West is one of the names too. Yeah, she's one of the suspects. Yeah, and I wouldn't mind that. But the problem is, the only reason Lydia West's name has come up, it's not really based off anything anyone's heard or seen or knows. It's based off the fact that she worked with RTD. And that's where a lot of people are going now. They're going to say, okay, this person's worked with RTD before, so they're on the list. Now, as you know, some of you probably heard or read, I put up an article up on the Dr. Freedom Facebook page. If you run over there, it's pinned to the top, so you can't miss it. Apparently, David and Georgia Tennant are going to be involved in a project they're like producing, running, and all that. Where it's going to be like a Jekyll and Hyde thing. So that means there's no way he's going to have time, if he's producing, starring, and all this stuff in it, to be the 14th Doctor. So that kind of takes that off the table. And like I've been saying the last few weeks, I really think that was a deliberate mislead, especially with the part with Catherine Tate thrown in. They're playing on your hopes, you know, especially the folks who've been naysaying, claiming we need to go back to the glory days of Tennant. I think that's how that all got started. It was just a false rumor that was thrown out there to lead you away from the actual trail. And, you know, but here's the thing. What if RTD picks someone he's never worked with before? Then you're not going to have any idea. My advice, strongly, and this has seemingly worked at least for the last couple doctors that I know of, keep your eyes on the betting pages. But don't be too surprised up till about, say, a couple days before you have a scheduled announcement. Keep your eyes on them, you know, all the way up to the end, because the reason why I never suspected Jodie Whittaker was because her name didn't go to the top of the betting pages till literally like not even 72 hours before the announcement was scheduled and all that. So her name literally shot to the top, you know, overnight. And I hadn't checked the betting pages, and that was kind of my fault. Betting pages got it right on Capaldi, and they got it right on Whittaker. Anything before that, like I said, I wasn't really monitoring then, because I started this whole shenanigans back when Matt Smith was in the TARDIS. So, but so far the two I've seen, you know, like I said, keep your eye on the odds. Also, look at which names they've chosen, and do research on them. You know, look them up. You know, see what kind of info you can find out about them, because that's also important. Also, you know, like I said, you got to dig around, see, okay, do they have any upcoming projects? Like, there's a lot of people really worried about what's going to happen in, you know, character of Daryl on The Walking Dead, because it's beginning to look like that whole Carol and Daryl spinoff thing might have been a lie, because they're steering Daryl right down the same path that they steered Rick Grimes in the comic books, and that led to Rick Grimes being, well, killed in the comic books. And that's what it's beginning to look like they're going to do with Daryl. They're going to steer him down the Rick Grimes path that they did in the comic books. And see, so like I said, nothing's guaranteed. You got to watch out. Just look out for what work they're doing in the future. Also, Norman Reedus has been signed on, I think, to a couple, looking at a couple other projects. So, you know, if he's going to be doing another series, why is he, you know, being, you know, picked for these roles? But so I mean, look for that kind of stuff. Do some thinking, do some research. Like I said, it'll take you a little effort, you know, maybe if you have some spare time. But okay, like I said, it's just feeling a little left out this week. Some things happened, like I said, last week that have kind of got me down, and it was kind of reminding me back of the old days, like I said, of when I was like, you know, other things I've had the door slammed on my face for, and it's like, I just never thought it would happen in this particular instance. Like I said, I'm not going to go into mudslinger or anything like that, so that's not my style. But well, thankfully I talked my way around it, because I only got a couple minutes and I got to get up and run in the building. Now I have to locate my umbrella, because it is raining cats and dogs out here. Parts of the roads are already starting to flood out down here. So, made for an interesting trip to work. Meanwhile, we got some dingus over there who's literally almost parked across 2 handicap spaces with his car. And I'm like, if you can't back that sucker in, don't. Ugh. I'm sorry. I've seen, oh my God, I think I've seen a spastic astronaut monkey on LSD that could guide in a space shuttle. This guy can't even back in his car and keep it inside the lines. And it's like, it's not like, the ground is snow covered, or it's not like, you couldn't have gotten out and realized, oh, the front end of my car is in another handicap space. Maybe other, and it's like, it's not like they're at, really at a premium out here right now. It's, oh, the guy next to me pulled out. I'm shocked. Okay. Normally, once you're here for the 9 hours. Oh, I just can't believe that. It's like, dude, you're in a handicap area. And it's like, I'm lucky if there's maybe 2 or 3 handicap spaces open when I get here. And I'm here 45 minutes usually before the shift starts. And it's like, I'm usually pulled into this parking lot by 5:15, and I don't have to be here till 6. And they're like, well, it comes so early. I said, because and when the weather does get bad, I've already left the house at the same time. So it's like, I don't have to drill for it. I don't have to get up any earlier. I've got plenty of time to get to work. B, if you ain't here by a certain time, you're going to be circling this lot until hopefully somebody leaves so you can get a handicap space. It's like me. I have, like I said, I have arthritis, both ankles, both feet. No venular circulation mid-calf down. And like I said, there's just some days I show up and, some days when I leave where, thanks to Mr. Ibuprofen, I'll make it to the car. Oh, well, I just realized I got about a minute and I got to run in the building. So, like I said, start checking the gambling sites. Most of them will have a bet up. Take a look at what names they've chosen. Check the odds. And then take down those names. Go do your own research and take a look. Tom Holland, I don't know if I'd reach that high, but I have heard one rumor that said it was a major male star, but I don't know. But like that was a while back. So take care of yourselves, anyone. Be kind, be careful, be safe out there. And hopefully I'll see you all in the future. So have a good one. Good day to y'all.